time, maybe just if we just want to talk about dieting all night and health and fitness.
Okay, we are
Hold
live.
on.
So let's do this.
Talk about flu season next week. It's coming around. Lots of people are infected.
Hey, there you
That's
go.
fine.
Talk about flu and anti-vaxxers.
Ooh, vaccines. It all flows into the conspiracy topics now. It's all one and the same. All right, so we're live.
We are. Welcome to the Crow Show.
Yep.
Awesome. This is going to be a great episode, I can tell already.
I'm Infamous BC.
Zodiac.
And Trigger here. So
And Trigger's being silent.
we want to. All right. That's.
Yeah, so we were supposed to be talking tonight. I guess it's mostly going to be me and Brad talking.
Okay.
Was it mic issues again?
No, it's just starting up the show. It usually fucks up the whole chat thing for me. So we're talking about diets, eating, and trying to live well through that, amongst other things. So
Do we want to get a better take and then just record that, cut that for the video? Or
It's already live.
It's live. I can't. There's not much I can do.
I really could just. Never mind. I'm not going to do all that.
It's live. These things happen.
You don't need to worry about being perfect. Nobody is.
Ooh, that's a good topic too, about being perfect. I have an obsession about trying to make things perfect. But, you have to accept it. We don't even know what perfect is. Don't.
Well, pretty close, I like to think.
You personally, or? And our topic's about diets tonight.
Yeah, getting back to it.
Zodiac, you're on a diet, right?
I am. I actually specifically started this week so I could report on it for this episode. I was gonna wait because my birthday's this weekend, and
So
kind of wanted to go out and party, but that ain't happening now.
So let's just briefly talk about your diet, and then I'm gonna say some things right after, and then we'll maybe get into more specifics of your diet because you believe in it, and I'd like to hear more about it.
Yeah, so I will preface it by saying I do believe in it because I'm already down 5 pounds.
And what time period?
I started Monday.
Wow. Okay.
It's part of the diet, though. It flushes out water weight like crazy. I'm doing the ketogenic diet.
Okay.
It's similar to Atkins in that it's low carb. It's like very low carb, but Atkins
Right.
you get like 100 grams of carbs a day, whereas with keto you want to keep it between 20 and 30 grams. So you can basically the only carbs I'm eating are whatever's in the vegetables. So it's weird, but it's low carb, high fat. So you try and get healthy fats, not like deep fried gross shit.
So
what's healthy fat then?
Yeah.
Going for like better foods, like organic, grass fed. Like you're trying to get your fats from like your meats, your avocados, coconut oil.
So, well, all right. My research was fairly short. That's why I don't even care that Trigger did zero research on it. But it really just comes down into you see all these different kinds of diets. And I keep thinking it's amazing how it's really just regiments, they're plans on what what strategy and percentages and all that of what you think people should take. And then like Zodiac's diet, it's more, that's a manipulation, planned with manipulation.
Yes.
You're manipulating the body, and these work, they work. And I think like professional weightlifters have to do these same kind of manipulations of body. Like the one guy I was watching the video on, he eats 6 meals a day, and really not many of them are that small. Like he's eating a lot and he's maintaining it. Now you can say, well, he's got a lot of muscle and all that, but that's what what the hell was that?
I think it was a whistle.
I think it was in your head.
Right after your cough.
But yeah, so I know what you're saying. Like even the ketogenic diet, there are bodybuilders and athletes that use it because of the sustained energy that you get from burning fat instead of carbs.
Right.
Like that's the
So
whole purpose of it. Like you said, it's manipulation. I'm switching my body over to run on fat instead of carbs.
in all the research that I did, there's one thing that I found that is very like common. Like, don't eat processed foods, especially like processed sugars, like sugar that's, just
Like chocolate?
it's well, no, okay, so you specify chocolate, like the fillings in chocolate. Yes, I know. I'm almost like anti for what I work in. I do believe in what
What's wrong
moderation.
with America?
No, I'm not. It's all about moderation, and really, it is. Like and that's what I'm saying. My candy's rich enough that it's not like you have to eat so many. But like potato chips and stuff like that, And the other thing that all of them have in common is watch your sodium intakes. I mean, watch your sugar intakes, watch your sodium intakes. Carbohydrates become sugars when they're not used. That's why if you eliminate your carbohydrates, you're not necessarily. And you're getting to the point so low where it's forced to. But proteins will eventually.
That's why you got to keep it 20 grams.
I mean, what do proteins break down into if you don't use them? I think it just breaks down to the same thing. It'll just.
Proteins are harder for your body to break down and use as energy, though.
Right. Okay. But I mean, like
protein's good for building muscle. It's not so great to use for energy.
We exert energy throughout the day through just natural things like walking and blinking or whatever, and just your body in general moving and heart beating uses energy, but is that really enough to, I believe you should like 3 times a day try to get your heart rate up. Like you try to make it climb, whether it's just a brisk jog, I mean, like they say like, you have to sweat. Like it's weird to think about, like, do you sweat every day? At some point in time, do you sweat?
I'm just about that fat, yeah.
Like, oh, well, so you got the fat sweats now. Gee, that's the other way around. That's like yeah. Okay, so, yeah, but I mean, like, it's a lot about just watching what you eat. I mean, like, why is it that McDonald's, you think like, okay, like you have to watch your red meat, like, but like, why is it that McDonald's is bad? What is it? Is it that their meat is so high in fat? We say processed,
it's not actually meat.
But what is processed?
Right?
What does processed mean?
It's filler. Half of it's not even meat. It's processed filler that they throw into it because they can't afford to kill that many cows for as many people that go there. So they gotta. And if you looked up how they put their chicken together, you'll never eat another chicken nugget again. It's
it's all pressed and
basically they throw the chicken into a big grinder. It smushes them down like a cartoon. It's pretty nasty. They'll use different cuts of meat and.
See, I'm just picturing like the old school Mickey Mouse cartoons now. Like it's all black and white. Everything's kind of bouncing up and down and rhythm to the music.
Yeah, basically.
It's just chickens going to the top. It's pooping out little nuggets at the bottom.
There's a big squishing machine. And just
it's like a cartoon dog with a big smile on his face pulling the lever.
I don't know. Okay, maybe that's not 100% factual, but I've seen the process, and it's pretty nasty. It's not something you'd want to see, But then again, when you're killing animals,
that's why I haven't watched any of that stuff because
for food you can't. So you can't really view. It's hard to watch.
Well, that also comes into just this is what's happening to companies that choose to mass manufacture. They're having to cut corners so much.
I've noticed I've noticed that also not just with food but with beer too. There seems to be some companies that now I've liked Spotted Cow for some time, but when Spotted Cow got pretty popular and they started selling over the States, or it just seemed to get more popular. The taste changed to the point that I would get a headache after drinking like 3 sips of beer with nothing else. And it's not some kind of hangover. It's just there's some kind of different formula in there because they're either adding water or I don't know what they're adding, but they're putting
cheaper ingredients to make more.
Yeah, it's just a different ingredient.
So it's cheaper ingredients. So it's like, okay, now I got to find a local company that isn't going to sell out and isn't going to like put extra
But this,
additives in there
but this is the
to be
thing,
able
though.
to
This is
sell
the
it
thing, though.
easier.
A lot of these local companies, this is the sad truth. It's hard to find these ingredients to make what you need. Like you have to buy from the same companies that are selling them, and you can be like, okay, well, this one's more expensive.
Are you saying they can't own their own local farms and or pay for these local farms to grow it? Does it go all the way back to farming now?
I'm saying that a bee farmer who's losing money every year to a guy he knows is making corn syrup is eventually going to have to start adding corn syrup just to keep his business afloat, because that's what's happening. He can increase his price, but every time you increase your price, people look and say, I don't have $13 to buy for a jar of honey. I mean, I'm sure it's delicious, but, I just need something on my toast in the morning. And I know it's healthier, but, so I'll get this middle grade one, this $7 one.
I'm just going to say, I'm only 4 days into this diet. Fuck you guys for talking about beer and honey. I can't have
it. Have some mead. It's made from honey.
You're like my mom, Zodiac. You go to McDonald's and take the top bun off and just eat the burger like that because you're trying to watch your weight. A top bun off of a fast food burger,
off.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The top bun of a fast food burger, that's the dieting strategy.
Dude, I can't even use milk in my coffee anymore.
What?
Because lactose. It's too much sugar in milk.
What about the cream and the fat? It doesn't have any sugar in it?
The light cream does. It still has carbs in it too. I had to go buy it's like a soy milk almost. It's high in protein.
I saw what you tweeted. Does it really? Is somebody like really putting like a stick of butter in their coffee? Are you doing that?
Oh yeah, people do that. I'm not doing that.
Because that sounds like a military type of food where you just get some butter and what was it?
But what about cholesterol? All right,
jelly,
so people are losing weight, but what about people's cholesterol?
Honestly, most people's cholesterol stays the same or gets better. It has a lot of really good health benefits to it.
How is that possible? Eating?
I don't know.
I think it makes sense.
The people who do like lazy keto, where they're just eating the high fat shit all the time, then yeah, that's gonna cause some problems. But if you do it the right way and you watch your intakes and you're hitting these certain levels each day. Like I catalog everything. Everything that I put in my mouth now goes fucking into this food diary in my phone.
So you can look back and be like, oh, this is why I gained 200 pounds. That gigantic fucking cake I just ate. Okay.
Yeah, right. So yeah, ever since I started this diet, I've been logging everything and fucking.
So how much of weight
like
is hereditary? Like, I mean, is there certain people who are doomed that they eat? Yeah, sugar is excess sugar. I mean, of course, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Just okay. What kind of sugar? Basic sugar, cane sugar, corn syrup, sugar.
All of it.
Which
anything
one is
that's not naturally occurring? It's all bad for you.
But it doesn't matter if you don't burn off the sugars that you intake. I mean, your body stores it as excess extra. I mean, that's just the way your body does. So either you choose to burn it off,
or I've been doing
to not put it on in the first place.
I've been doing that part of that diet for the longest time because I try to avoid eating sugar at all costs, and I still end up doing it somehow. But I try.
Here's my
fear. Carbs I do eat, but I usually avoid candy. I avoid cookies. Basic sugar. I don't put sugar on anything unless I'm just cutting up some tomatoes and I want sugar. I'll put sugar on tomatoes. That's like the one sugary treat I'll do.
So here's my concern, though. I have like these concerns.
Oh, soda. Soda is probably where I'm getting sugar from.
Worse. Tomatoes have so much natural sugar already.
I know, that's what I said. He's putting sugar on tomatoes.
I don't have that treat too much, but usually that's a summertime treat.
Papa John's?
Sorry,
I went there.
No, I'll have Papa John's. Actually, Papa John's has a military discount, Zodiac, if you didn't know. You can show them your military ID. They'll take off.
Why don't you tell him that when he just started a diet, dude?
I know, right? Am I going to
Sorry.
scrape the toppings off and just eat the toppings?
You know,
So sorry.
a really good topic, a really good topping on pizza. This is what I like: anchovies, and then I get Roma tomatoes, and then the Parmesan cheese, and I call it the Caesar because it's just
Is
missing this.
anchovies? Does that have? I mean, a lot of because I don't really. I've had like what's the other thing that's close enough to it, but it's not. It's a really small fish that you deep fry.
Sardine.
Sardine.
No. Well, maybe no. It's bigger than a sardine though, but it's
The mackerel. Herring.
could have been a herring.
I don't know. I only work in the seafood department. I don't eat it.
I don't know. Anyways,
Do we need
whatever.
do we need to go bigger than the herring?
Does the really saltiness of that fish, is that like a bad? Is that does that
Well,
like increase your weight? It's like fish versus meat. Does fish
so
does
sodium.
fish meat is that
So Zodiac,
healthier or not?
does
What do you think?
does your diet have anything to do with sodium intake, Zodiac?
I really don't need to watch my sodium too much because the amount that you pee on this diet kind of flushes
Okay.
it all out. So I actually am supposed to add salt to water sometimes.
So what is the purpose of sodium? Is there any? I mean, they put
Really?
iodine in
So you're
sodium,
making
and
your
we know we
body
need
more
iodine.
electrical.
What was that,
Because
Frank?
you're
Yeah, what
You
were you
keep
saying,
breaking
Trigger?
up.
you're making your body more electrical. Salt actually conducts electricity very well. That's why when you have a lot of salt on your vehicle in the wintertime, you can create a better charge. You'll shock yourself a lot, especially when you're going to fill up gas. I've noticed this now. I'm just starting to think about it. Like, yeah, salt is a
Oh, is
conductor.
that
So
why you get more static
so
during the
so
winter?
so
Salt is
Trigger,
a
do you
conductor of
think?
electricity because every
Do you
time in the wintertime, I shock the shit out of myself whenever I don't wash my car within like 2 or 3 weeks because I'll
So
have
Trigger,
salt all over my
do you
vehicle.
think do you think there's a correlation between people with spontaneous combustion and their salt intakes?
It could be. It could be because you have a lot. Because salt, that's the reason why you can actually make a salt battery. You can watch some videos and you can put salt water. You can even just do regular like water and put salt in it and get an electrical charge from it because it carries electricity better. So you're putting a lot of more salt in your body. You're making you're probably making your circulations flow better, which could actually be helping with digestion. I'm just throwing
Yep.
ideas out there. I don't know what you guys think about that, but
Also helps with digestion. Like, you know how I'm always complaining about my stomach and indigestion from everything.
Yes.
I've felt like a normal human being for the last 3 days.
hey, that's cool.
Like I've had no indigestion. I'm not burping. I'm not dry heaving. Like freaking.
I've
great.
actually reduced my indigestion a lot too, and it's basically because I just eat the same thing every day. Like I eat a tuna sandwich for lunch every day. I eat an egg and 2 pieces of bacon and toast every day. And then whatever my wife is cooking for dinner, it's usually like chicken noodle soup or something.
I will say I've had a lot of red meat this week.
Now, I guess this diet wouldn't be a vegan happy diet, I suppose.
No.
Yeah, and that's what's
Not a
amazing
good
is that
diet for vegans. No,
there is literally diets on both sides. So what if you actually could be a vegan on this diet? Like you just basically consume
You'd be
large
eating
amounts
a lot
of
of
soybean oil.
avocado and like it would be possible. You could get. Well, it would be really hard though, because vegetables are high in carbs.
All right,
I gotta wonder why though with the vegan diet, why are eggs and milk off the table? Because I always wondered about that. That's not
because
that's not
it was
meat.
made by
They
an
feel
animal.
they feel it's cruel that we're farming animals in order to get their eggs and milk.
Right. The honey's off the table with a vegan.
Well, I mean, if they make such a huge surplus of it, I don't think they're going to be missing a lot of it. I don't know.
Right.
I don't
Honestly,
get that.
honey's a good thing because we need those bees.
It seems like honey is one of those cure-all, end-all kinds of things because you could have allergies.
You guys are all about the honey tonight.
Well, I mean, the thing is with honey, if you have allergies, like local allergies, or if you're going to go to a place that you're foreign to, it's actually kind of recommended to get honey from that place specifically, because the bees in that place will take pollen from all the flowers
Yeah.
and stuff, and that will lower your allergies because you're taking it's kind of
Yeah,
like it's
but
kind
Yeah,
of like
again,
you're building
but
up an immunity to the
right,
pollen.
it's sort of like how
trigger,
the vaccines work, because you get a
trigger.
little bit of that, and then your body's like, okay, I know how to deal with this now. I'm not overwhelmed, and
The
I
problem is
get
though,
that, you
trigger.
know.
Yeah, same thing like when you go to another country, it's recommended to eat the yogurt.
Oh yeah, probiotics in from their place, right?
It's just what my fear is again with all the farm raising that we're doing. Is this still even like? Does it matter? I mean, like, I'm just saying. The other thing I want to mention about you, I want to take two things I want to talk about with this. One, does yours talk about any spices? How does it feel about spices? Like, can you
Spices are
spice?
fine, but I have to. Yeah, you got to check the ingredients, like onion powder, tons of carbs.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't think.
You know, I actually put that in my coffee sometimes.
Onion powder?
It can seriously wake you up. You wouldn't
God,
believe.
burn the witch.
You would not believe how it would wake you up.
And you're all grossed out, like, oh, you're gonna put butter in your coffee, and you're putting
I
onion
know
powder.
you're putting onion powder in it.
At
I
least
don't
butter
I
is
don't do it
just
much
fucking
anymore. It's not the most
butter
it's
is
not the
just
tastiest
churned up
thing.
cream. I mean,
It's basically you're putting two different bitters together.
The cool
So-
thing is 5 years from now, like coffee shops like Wawa and Starbucks will literally have little packets of onion powder now. Besides,
because of Trigger.
because of trigger, like people will be
It's
like,
funny, but
they get 2 onion powders with that.
you might be right though, BC, because there's
As long as it's vegan, cruelty free.
Yeah.
people will be like, I want the double bitter.
Well,
coffee."
I drink my
Called the double
coffee.
I'll
I
take
drink my coffee, and
I'll take a grande Dietz.
I'm still hungry, but with a little bit of onion powder in it, man, I feel so full. Like it's great. Those vegans, they love that onion powder in their coffee. Oh. You did it, dude.
I might
Made
have.
it. You're trendy now.
Yeah, I've had some good ideas. People like some of
You
my
fucking hipster.
So
ideas.
the other thing I want to talk about is the safety of dieting, and this isn't about your specific diet or any specific diet, but extremity of dieting. And again, people who are like really overweight, like, is it safe to immediately start this diet head on? And then, people are like, they exercise too much. They it's the, your diet doesn't talk about anything about exercise, right? This isn't like a lifestyle choice. This is just a strict diet, right?
You can exercise with it. I'm not.
Okay, so you're not exercising at all. Your daily routine is just, walking the 8 hours at work or driving home and then mostly sitting
Yeah,
on the couch.
BC,
I put on miles at work.
I wanted to
right.
tell you
Our
I've
work
saw
is our work.
I've saw some other people talk about it. Like most people, it seems like most people exercise way too much, and they think they have to keep exercising. But what they're really doing is they're going to need more intake to build the muscle, and the body thinks that, and so you end up eating more, gaining more weight. And I think that might be true. I think maybe like an exercise every other day or some light exercise. I don't think your body needs too much.
All right. I agree with you on the exercise, as in the idea of going to a gym and lifting weights and repetitive movements, but getting your heart rate up again, cardio, just cardio work like running. I think that should be done every day. I really do. I think you should just at least run
you're right,
a quarter mile every day, or do some stretching your arms. I mean, yoga. I love the idea of yoga. I think that it got a little bit too extreme with people, but we should all be stretching, and I think that they do.
I'm not a yoga fan, but I love the pants.
No, and I think a lot of people are upset with yoga more for the possibilities of the spiritual aspect, and they don't want to have to practice these new beliefs. They're like, well, I'm already doing the yoga. Maybe I'll do the yoga beliefs, and it goes against some other religions, and some people aren't into that. So I get it from that aspect, but
I just think the stretching is good. I think you should be stretching every day. Yeah,
I think the heart rate is an important thing. And the thing is, when I actually did lose weight fast, the only way I ever could was with running. It wasn't any other kind of
Right.
exercise I did. Just natural
Exactly.
running is like
Natural
the
running.
absolute best way to
I mean, that's the
to
core of our
lose weight
body. Look
fast.
at it. Our
Yeah, but it
arms aren't as
sucks.
big as our
I
legs.
It
hate
does.
I hate running.
But the thing is, once you do it for like about 3 weeks, then your heart actually craves it. It's weird. Like my heart feels like, okay, we need to go. We need to go now. We need to, get going. It's like
Well,
at first it's
get
kind
a
of
good
painful,
rhythm.
but then your heart's like, come on, let's do it. Let's go.
You
And
want to get a good breathing rhythm. You want to get a good breathing rhythm. Try more through your nose. If it's
you
like
know,
2 times in nose and then 1 exhale through your mouth, whatever you need to do, you need to
if
get on that rhythm,
if
and you
anything, the
need to find
military.
it.
If anything, the military taught me is that running is probably the most valuable way to make your heart feel good. Like your heart, it feels good inside your chest. It's weird. It doesn't feel.
Now, here's the thing. After boot camp, do you always do a cadence in your head when you work out?
If initially it sound, I could hear that, but after a while I just forget it. So many years go by, man.
If I don't have I don't have like an iPod or fucking my phone plugged into some headphones or something, like every time.
Wow, you got ingrained really well.
It's in
then.
there.
You. Oh man.
But yeah, so with this
They
diet,
do
you
one on
can work out or you cannot. It's up to you. You still lose weight if you don't because you're still burning the fat that's built up on your body for energy.
Well, you have to make sure you're not.
Because I'm also
consuming
doing a calorie deficit too. Like
Right. Yeah,
the-
you have to make sure you're not
the app
over
that I'm
consuming.
using, yeah. I set the percentages I want for like this is the percentage for fat, this is percentage for carbs, this is percentage for protein. Here's my height, weight, gender, and it calculates it. Okay, this is how many calories you need to maintain. This is how many-
4,900.
No, not that big.
It's over 9,000.
3,500.
No, still lower.
2,000.
2,700.
Close. It was 2,500 to maintain where I'm at.
Goodness gracious! There's 4-ounce portions of steak. Do you get any mushrooms with that, or is that too high in sugars?
Yeah. What about
Mushrooms have pretty
shrooms?
low carbs in them. You can still have them, but not a lot.
Really, shrooms? You
Yeah,
can't
this-
have much
Same
of.
thing. You just got to
Those-
choose where you got to choose where you're getting your carbs. That's why I cut down to the
Greek yogurt.
the vegetable milk that I'm using for the plant milk stuff that I'm using for my coffee because it's fine for coffee. I wouldn't want to drink it straight, but
Greek yogurt. That's high in protein, low in carbs.
is it? I haven't looked.
Yeah.
I'm not a Greek yogurt fan. It's basically sour cream.
Well, it might be your friend.
Well, BC,
But
you're in PA,
like-
so we know.
like yesterday and today, for example, like I restricted all of my carbs for the whole day so I could have Brussels sprouts for dinner.
What a guy.
What a pal.
So now,
Just saying.
all right. So, how do you
Yeah.
guys feel about importance of the day? Now, I remember Trigger one time saying, breakfast could be skipped, and me and Zodiac were like, "No, breakfast is like that's when you're supposed to." I feel like if you just eat the biggest, eat everything at breakfast, and just go the rest of your day, you're fine. It's a little snack later.
I was about to look up this other guy a few weeks ago that was talking about dieting and getting in shape and stuff, and he said one of his key things he said was breakfast is the first thing you skip. You don't need to have that. You only need to have like maybe 2 meals a day or something like that. And he went on and on. And
So this
I
wasn't
don't
like
know,
a
it just-
joke.
no, but the thing is, I don't hardly ever typically have breakfast. I'll usually have lunch and
If
then maybe
anything,
like a
it's the one that
snack
you
for
want.
dinner.
You want to skip lunch?
Well, if I have breakfast and I don't usually have lunch,
I skip dinner.
Then I'll have dinner. But dinner is usually very small. My breakfast, if I have breakfast, and it's rare, it's like if I wake up super early in the morning, I'm like, oh, geez, I woke up too early, now I'm hungry. If it's that situation, then I'll have breakfast, and then I'll wait until...
Let's not say breakfast. Let's say hours. Let's say large meal at like.
Okay,
Typically,
brunch,
I eat.
brunch or lunch, but sometimes it's breakfast. So for me, probably
Okay.
mostly brunch or lunch, I
Brenner.
guess.
You outsmarted me there on that one. What I meant was like times, because I mean, are you calling breakfast something you eat at 6 in the morning and then lunch
Yeah.
something you eat it at 1?
Yeah.
So there's a 7-hour gap.
Breakfast is 6 or 7 in the morning. Brunch is
Damn, you wake
anywhere.
up that early?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I only sleep a few hours, and then I wake up really early in the morning. I'm like, okay, I'm hungry, so let's go out and get something. And then I'll usually go get some eggs or make some eggs. And it's always going to be eggs, though. I can't handle breakfast if it doesn't have eggs. Like I could have eggs in pancake, eggs in toast, eggs in bacon.
Eggs are in pancakes.
I had Pepper's ground beef and cheese for breakfast today.
So you had a skillet.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I made stuffed peppers the other day with.
You had omelets minus the eggs.
Basically, that's only because I was out of eggs, though. I am supposed to eat eggs.
So the vegan diet might not apply. Or wait, no, that's the vegetarian. What is that one? Not vegan, but like more hardcore.
That's that.
Vegan's the hardcore.
PETA?
Yeah, vegans are the hardcore, yeah.
Okay, which one's the slightly less hardcore version?
Vegetarian, I believe.
Maybe.
Okay, so then vegetarian does apply, but vegans do not.
There's a lot of things like veggie ovo and all this, and there's something. There's different categorizations now. People that eat shellfish, people that don't eat shellfish, people that eat, produced things like eggs, and stuff like that.
I'd almost say that the best diet, though, would probably be vegan, because any person I knew that was vegan was bone thin, skinny. I mean, you could see
because they're malnourished.
Their kneecap bones. I mean, there was like no fat on them at all. Their body would just ate up all the fat and was like, "Give me more," And they're. Yeah, I think you need a little more than that. So I think where you're going with this Zodiac could be almost ideal. Because you won't.
I mean, it's really similar to the paleo diet, where you're basically eating like a caveman.
That's the thing. Like, here's the thing I wanted to talk about with this, because, I wanted to, do some stuff with this, but just a lot going on and kind of stressed. So, but one thing I want to talk about is that I've been looking at it from a perspective that with the way our teeth are designed, we only have a couple canines, so we only have a few of those. I don't think initially us as being man was meant to eat a lot of meat. It seems like maybe a little bit. Maybe we were scavengers. In some sense, we would eat meat sometimes if something died. But, we'd only have a few of those. Most of our teeth are designed for vegetation.
Well, the only ones that we really need for the amount of meat that we eat are the ones in the front.
Yeah. I just kind of thought that.
We're definitely omnivorous.
Well, sure, but you can also make other things omnivorous. Like I've read about a cow that started eating chickens' heads and just randomly started eating chickens because it would just bite down on it and would eat it. So I think like you hear the stories of like lions that start eating men and then they only have a taste for men. Like they gain a flavor to eat humans. And then that's all they want to do when they get hunted. I mean, I don't know if you ever saw the, what was that called? Ghost in...
David and the Lion's Den?
No, it's like the Ghost in the Darkness, or... I can't remember the movie, but it explained some of that. And like some animals, if they get a taste for eating... Like bears...
Planet Earth 2?
No.
Ghost Dad.
There's like some animals that get a taste for eating human, and then that's all they really want to do.
I know what you mean, yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to make a point.
I don't know if that's a real thing, but I know what you mean. I've seen it in movies.
It's probably how shark attacks happen and all that.
Like great whites get a taste like with jaws.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we're high in sugar. We're delicious.
We're tasty. I mean, even dogs. After a while, they just love to lick us the whole time. You wonder, would they just eat us in our sleep if they didn't like us?
Watch Planet Earth 2 on the last episode, Cities, and skip to this point where this guy feeds the hyenas, dude. They're like I don't even know if they're hyenas or jackals or what, but dude, they are vicious looking, like point blank range, and he's feeding them like right the long necks and everything. Dude, they look at him like,
Dinner.
Are you sure, man? You know I could kill you. Like I could kill you. And like he's just like handing it to him. But it's like, he's probably like saving the whole city from those things deciding to eat more people. Because they're probably like, he gave me some food. I'm gonna let his buddies live.
This guy's all right.
This guy's all right. These people are all right. Dude, he feeds them. They said he's the 5th generation. I imagine that, dude. Like when your
5th generation jackal feeder.
Yeah, dude. When your parents are just like, no, you're not going to culinary school. You're gonna be feeding the hyenas. I don't
whether they take it from your hand or they eat you entirely is their choice.
Dad, I wanted to get an MBA.
Do not look at him directly in the eye and do not show fear. Now let's go.
He brings his 1-year-old and there's like, look what you're gonna be doing.
Yeah, bring your daughter to work day.
Oh, Jesus. That's terrible. Oh man, well, what
the trick is I have a shotgun underneath the table.
Because we get this food chart from the government that says you need to eat this pyramid of foods. And I'm like, there's no freaking way I'm ever going to be able to eat and drink all those things on that list in one day. Absolutely no way.
It's funny because we have all these different diets and then like the government's plan, like what the government says we should be like. And it's like, why are you telling us this? Like, why?
It seems a bit off to like what some people actually get results with, like what Zodiac's talking about. Sounds very reasonable, but like the whole, like if I did some of that diet, I would still have to have a little bit of honey, because actually it seems to me like if I have a little bit of honey at nighttime, just a spoonful or something like that, it actually helps the immune system. And
it is supposed to be good for you.
Trigger, again, don't break it too hard. If you want to lose weight, reduce carbohydrates. Zodiac's doing a real diet.
You don't have to take it this far. This is extreme. Zodiac's
doing a real diet strategy, which is, again, manipulating the body into a different process on how it takes care of its food. But, like, for the most part, if you want to lose weight, just don't eat as much carbohydrates. I mean, and that's sugars. Like,
and your honey will be fine, but you just cut out other places.
You can, like, I wanted to try a diet with just fruits to see if a fruit diet was something that could work.
This is interesting to me that you said that, because my wife always says about how when she lived in the Dominican Republic, that's like all she ate. And she said like they eat meat, but like she personally she ate meat too, but like they lived on fruits. Like it was like, eat 3 mangoes and you're good. Like just keep going on like that's what she wanted to eat.
And call me in the morning.
Yeah, like I think it was like breakfast. I meant more like.
I wonder because even with the Old Testament,
could be the worst doctor ever.
Because like even with the Old Testament, you could eat from any of the trees in the garden, which meant that almost their only diet was fruit from trees. And it just made me wonder, like, what if that's all our initial basis of existence was to be? Well, all we had to do is, there's tons of fruit that grow on trees. I just wonder, because the way our teeth are designed.
I always like to imagine about the fruit that, no longer survived, that it was created and like, no, we don't get to have it because it's extinct.
Yeah, like the avocado. I think the avocado was supposed to be one of those, because I don't think we were meant to eat the avocado. I think it was for dinosaurs because the seeds were so big. Because the trees will, like, I saw a special on this, and the dinosaurs would eat the fruit, and then they would pass the seed in poo in a different area, so they would keep replanting the tree, right, with their poo, and that's kind of how seeds dispersed. You'd eat the fruit, and the tree would, in a way, manipulate the animal to move its progeny
tons of
around.
Animals act as seed dispersers like that.
But the avocado isn't. The seed is too big for us to swallow, so the avocado, apparently, from the way they portrayed it, was never meant to be eaten by man. But we still eat it.
Bird or
whatever. It's delicious. I'm gonna keep eating it.
Yeah, and
Oh
that's the thing.
yeah.
I just want to talk about, like, I got some avocado tonight. I'm like, yeah, I got some avocado. I'm gonna have some chips and just eat some avocado. They put all kinds of extra vegetables, and I'm like, dang it, I didn't get just
Oh
straight
yeah.
avocado in the thing. But it's supposed
Yeah,
to be
I'm
no,
like
eating
a
a lot of
super.
avocado too.
I
It's
agree with you because yeah, avocado is very unique too. It's just there's nothing like it. It's like a butter inside of
Delicious.
a fruit.
it's like a bunch
It
of
is
fats.
really like you could just scoop it right out of its shell and fucking spread it on shit.
I
Yeah,
know it looks like a
have you ever had
fat. It looks like a
my
fat.
wife?
It looks
It
like
is
cream
very fat.
cheese. It's
It's
supposed
a
to be
lot of
really.
fat.
So
My
that would
wife
be
called
one of those that you probably would want to be on, right?
Like yeah, I have a lot of avocado in this diet too. Like I've been chopping it up with my eggs,
Bru-
Interesting.
not Brussels sprouts.
use it in place of mayonnaise.
What are the other sprouts? The little
Alfalfa.
alfalfa sprouts. They're really healthy for you too.
Yeah,
Eat-
but they're also
eat-
gross.
No way, man.
I don't like alfalfa sprouts. I like bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts too. All that stuff, man. They're good. They're fresh, like babies. Just eating baby plants. Tastes delicious and fresh.
Like eating baby plants.
Baby plants.
I like it.
Wait, what happened? I just went to get a beer. We just went from avocado to baby plants.
Oh, we're talking about sprouts,
Oh,
which I do believe are pretty sugary.
yeah.
Yeah, they probably are.
So what is healthier in this diet? The root of the plant, or the leaf, or the is it
For the
situational?
diet I'm on.
Well, yeah, like what you could eat. Like, is it because you just said the sprouts are sugary?
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
curious.
a lot of leafy green is what I'm supposed to go for.
So what's your goal? What's your goal, Zodiac? Do you want to just get like once are you going to stay on this diet the rest of your life, or you once you lose to a certain weight,
He has to stay on it to some degree, BC.
Yeah,
If he gets off of it,
I
it's
could
just going to go
modify
right.
it to
he's
just
gonna-
maintain where I'm at and allow myself some more carbs.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you, again, once you lose the excess weight, losing excess weight is the first step. Once you get to the the desired weight you want to be at, then it just becomes physique. Like,
Yeah, and
You
we'll
know
see
what I
what
mean?
happens when I get
You don't-
there.
Well, I mean, you don't. I mean, the thing is with these diets, like, I think that's the thing, BC. A lot of people think I can do this diet for a while and then I'm good. Then I can go back to my old ways. You'll be playing this bungee cord system that it'll just you stretch it out
So-
far enough and you get pulled right back, and then you gotta stretch it out
but
again.
again,
You pull right back.
but
I mean,
again, it's not. It's like seems like something's like off. Is it because we have more companies shoving out these processed foods and we just often take them as shortcuts, or is it really because like everything is again like I was saying, if you feed a chicken corn, nothing but corn, are its eggs really like that healthy? I mean, it's just corn. Corn
No,
is
that's why
everything.
grass fed is the way to go.
Well, even that, if you feed it just grass, I'm saying we talk about like big giant corporations, but like where's like the science and engineering behind it? Like, is that all chicken?
BC, it's money. It's money.
It seems like every
if you
animal
can make more
has
money on something and you can produce something more often than somebody else can, you always will make more money. That's all it ever is about. You make enough money, and then the pharmaceutical companies make more pills to counteract all the negative effects. It's just we create a society that only focuses on money. Whoever has the most, it's like who dies with the most toys wins. And
right. But
Yeah.
again, I keep talking about it. Like, we buy our coconuts. Almost all of our coconuts seem to come from Thailand. I mean, other countries have coconuts, but why is Thailand the main
Cheapest.
source of? Is it because it's just the cheapest? And it's
Probably,
like,
yeah.
okay, so
the import export stuff, like what the CAOs did with the import export, like we lost tons of jobs for car manufacturing here to Mexico, Canada, other countries, because the CEOs know that they can hire people there cheaper to do
Trigger,
the same labor.
did you say other shithole countries, Trigger?
I did not say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
How dare you, dude? That is wow.
That's funny. That's a really funny thing that he actually said. And
Okay, but at least he didn't say shithole people, because he's not talking.
Well,
He's talking
that
about
would
the
have been
governments.
terrible.
There's
Yeah.
shitty governments over there, and beautiful countries that could be fixed up with the right form of government, and that's what he visions. But
he doesn't have
you
tact.
can't say
at all.
shithole countries,
And
dude.
most
What's
of the
wrong
time-
with you?
Right? Like,
Most of the time, he
Jesus.
says stuff at like 5 or 4 a.m. in the morning, where his brain is probably still foggy. It's like there's certain times of the day, like even in the morning, I have to be extra careful when I'm driving because my brain is not all there. I got to look left and right and then do it again because I'm in a daze. And it's just like a guy like that that's our president should take more time to fucking think about what he's saying, because
That's
if he
not
would have
him.
said
That's not.
if he would have said shithole people, then yeah, I would have probably condemned him for something like that. Be like, no, now that could be considered
Yeah, 'cause
racism.
they're not.
In that
I
sense.
understand it though. Like, it's one of those things,
But everybody
They-
says stupid shit, and
They are shithole countries, but you don't say it.
yeah, exactly.
Like-
You don't go, especially when
But-
you're the president. You have to. When you're the president, you live in a glass house,
But,
It's
basically.
like it's like telling your kid that his coloring sucks.
Let me say something. Like,
Like,
I-
it's true, but you don't say it.
Can I say something? Can I say
Yeah.
something? Countries like Haiti it's amazing. Haiti doesn't have many trees anymore because France took a lot of the trees a long time ago through and all that. But Haiti and Dominican Republic, it's amazing to me. Like, they formed a government. Like, they created. So it's like, you can get mad and all that, but they were a small little country that liberated themselves earlier than we ever did, formed a country and government earlier than did. And there's still racism over there. I'm telling you, in Dominican Republic, light-skinned people mock dark-skinned people. It's just the way that it is.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
always
the same,
been
that's
that
the
way.
Same way it goes in Brazil too.
And
In Brazil,
we all know.
there's tons of they just recently got over the black servants in Brazil, but there's still tons of like black people that would just be sleeping on the street and just wandering around. It's basically like a place that's about 50 years behind us as far as where we're at now, and other tons of other countries like Japan's actually fairly racist towards other people, and China is to some degree too.
Everybody's racist.
Everybody is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just saying, like, it's cool that the United States allowed it. We're the first country that other countries didn't do it. If somebody was starting to get all uppity about something, they were just killed. I mean, even if they made a scene anywhat other than they were killed. America's such a new, fresh thing. We're able to create Hollywood. We're able to create all this stuff, and people are going berserk. Do you not realize that we're only like 5 years away from going right back to like lawless society and watch your back?
Yeah, we're gonna go into the Wild West pretty soon.
Like, do you
actually.
want that? Like, just everybody needs to like chill out and make sure that we understand what we're doing is working, but it needs to stay educated and calm. Okay, women didn't get rights before. Women should be having rights now. Absolutely, agreed. But let's not go too extreme. Okay.
Didn't they have that a long time ago?
They've had rights for a long time, but like,
yeah, a couple years.
I don't know if we brought up that.
I remember black and white photos of them protesting at the time.
We didn't even talk about that whole, because I said I wanted to talk about that Aziz Ansari thing, if that's how you say his name. But, like,
I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of. I think there's a lot we could talk about that. I think the thing is though that it's just that women are being more assertive, but when they go into this whole feminism thing, I understand the objective, but there's a lot of crazies that go way too far and then shit all over that name.
Can I say something too?
Then it makes the medium people look terrible. And so that's the thing is, anytime somebody starts a new group, they go way too fucking far and screw it up for everybody. And then the people that were trying to make a movement look like idiots. And that's really
the problem right now with trying to talk about racism is a bunch of white guys aren't allowed to talk about racism.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right.
We're not allowed to have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Can I make a point? Listen, I know how to be perverse. I know how to be overly perverse. I know how to be, very, very quiet. I know how to be many of things, but my entire life people have always said, be yourself. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try really hard to actually do that. I'm going to try to be myself. I'm not going to decide because this person's a woman that I'm going to speak differently to her. I'm going to hold the door open for her as well as any person, whether they're handicapped or not. If they get mad at me, like, I can do it myself. I was like, okay, good. If they don't want my help, great. I just try to be nice. I try to be nice to people up front and, everybody. And I act differently every day to different people because I like to be a different group of different personalities. But like, for the most part, I just always try to be nice. Nice. I don't know where I'm going with this at all, but
Yeah, I don't know either.
all right. What I was saying before about that one woman, she said something about, the girl from the date that was on with Aziz Ansari could have gotten up and just walked away. And another woman rebutted, like saying, it's really hard to get up and just walk away. You feel like you're pressured in a corner and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, it's vice versa, the same thing in any situation. It's not a man or woman thing. Nobody wants to be like impolite, really, really, rude and not, nobody wants to make somebody feel bad about themselves. Nobody wants to hurt somebody to the point. It leads to that. Eventually you get that emotion later because you feel like people, oh, why didn't you just tell me from the start and this and that? And you get all, hot and boggled. But it's like, if people were just honest from the get-go, who people were, I mean, nowadays they're making this big threat. Listen, if some guy was jerking off in front of you, like, let somebody know. You don't have to bottle that up. That's
Right?
not like, if some guy did that in front of you, bro.
The people that, like what you're
if somebody,
talking about with Weinstein and the people in Hollywood, it's that they wouldn't get the role if they didn't go along with all the little side bonuses that the asshole had to provide for them, that they thought were good. So, I mean,
okay.
You get to this point, and especially the thing is the way women have been.
But hold on. Would they not get the role? Hold on.
But I'm just let me say the way women have been since the dawn of time is.
Why wouldn't they get the role?
If they're
because he wouldn't give them the role.
He wouldn't give them the role.
So he wouldn't give them the role.
Basically, it's kind of like a forced thing.
No, it's not. There's laws against that by our. There's laws. There's clearly cut laws. So then he would have to be. You can clearly take it to trial at any point in time.
But he has the money. He has the money to get away.
Oh, so he has the money to get away with a public. We've had public TV since the '90s. You're telling me that if you I was on TV and I heard like this guy's jerking off in front of me at my work, I'm gonna be like.
BC,
well, who cares? Let him make his video.
Do you remember the Family Feud?
Are you kidding me?
Do you remember the old Family Feud? I don't know the guy that hosted it, but he would kiss any woman on the lips every single time he was in the show. And even if they were married and their husband was right there, he would kiss them right on the lips. And he did this back in the 70s.
Okay.
And my friend told me about it. I'm like, why the hell did he get away with all that stuff? It's like, because he's a star. People look up to him. It doesn't matter if someone wants to sue him or not.
Okay.
It's everybody's favoritism towards a particular person that can sway.
So two things why this is different. One, that's on television, so people now know what to expect, and then they can say, I don't want to go on that show for that exact reason. It didn't
matter. He would force it, or it would just happen.
Okay, no, they can choose not to go. He can't force them to go on the show and then kiss him. He wasn't doing that. I don't know.
My friend told me about this, and I was amazed. I was like, how did he get away with this? They
would just let him.
But you understand what I'm saying.
They wanted to be famous. They didn't want to look like they were the first person to break a tradition, break a rule of possibly becoming famous because, oh, did you kiss he kissed you too. It's kind of like you get to shake the president's hand. Maybe not. Okay, that's not a sexual way, but I think I'm trying to make a point here. Maybe I got lost.
So it would go like this. Somebody would go to the show and be like, listen, I like to be on the show, but I do not want to be kissed by you. It's just that. He said, well, I've talked to my producers about it, and you don't have a case if you were to try to sue me against it because that's just the way that it is. You don't have to be on the show at all, but this is our show, and these are our rules.
Wait a minute, Trigger makes me send him dick pics every Thursday before I can get on the show.
He does that to you too?
Right. That's a total lie. So I don't believe that shit.
I know, I just send him anyway.
You jerk. Oh man.
But I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think that like bottling things up and all this, especially if you're like, why would you do? I mean, I'm serious. That guy
Zodiac,
would have
maybe
been
next time don't be so
crucified
flaccid.
any point in time if he was known for jerking off in front of people, jerked off into a plant. I mean,
Right? Where's the fun in that? Plants
I
don't
would have
work.
been like, excuse me, what are you doing? And he'd be like, you're not going to get this movie. I'll be like, you know what? I think I can make my own with this one. You just jerked off in front of me unwillingly. Like, you just whipped it out. You cornered me and whipped it out and started like, it's not rape, but that's like, pretty fucking weird.
Well, we kind of moved on to the
Like,
topic
right.
of all the dirty
It's gonna be
things
news.
happening in
It's gonna be
Hollywood
news
right now.
media.
But
I think we covered it pretty well during the diet episode.
no, I mean, look at Corey Feldman. Like he wants to come
Do
out
I
and
have to?
expose. Okay, don't.
Yeah, but
he
I'm
wants to
just
come
saying-
out and expose what's happened to him and his friend and what's been happening in Hollywood for the longest time. And I think it's a dirty shame for us to not, also expose that to some degree too, because people get away with this shit because it turns into a kingship in a way. After somebody's been in charge of something for so long, you just expect them to always be in charge and you get comfortable, and then these people just have this power over you. That's the reason why our Constitution was built the way it was, so we could overthrow the government if it got too evil, and that it was built that way because people know some people gain power and control and then they lord it over people too much that they have all these little things that they do, like Bill Cosby with all his, all the women he's been with. I mean, you get famous, you get this like power. People just flock to you. They want to soak in that power. That they're a part of it. It's sick.
All right. But here's the situation. You're getting into a car. You see the guy has drugs in the car. You say, hey, man, I don't want to be in this car with drugs. He says, it's cool, man. And then you get in the car. Then you get pulled over, and now you're getting arrested for drugs in the car. And you say, hey, man, this is all your fault. Well, how is it all he didn't force you into the car. He didn't grab your hand and get you into the car. I mean,
he just
like
manipulated you.
You keep going along for a ride. What do you expect? People don't do things for free. Men don't do things for free. They don't escort you to have fun. Come back to my house and I'm having a party there. They don't do that because, I mean, that's anybody. I don't think I've ever met a woman who's just like, yeah, come over. Like, let's just hang out. That like wasn't attracted to me. If they're not attracted to me, they don't want to do that with me. I mean, unless they're some married couple or something, they want to,
Yeah, if it was like a married couple thing. But I know what you're saying. That's the case of it too. Because when I was married, I would go and do double dates with other couples too, and it was perfectly fine. But then when I wasn't married, the friend I had for the longest time that just wanted to do double dates didn't see him again. It was just like he wanted to continue that status quo, but he didn't want to just go back to the way his life was before, just the friendship. Things like that. People get so accustomed to this tradition of power.
Well, people rampage too much, man. I wish everybody would just calm down and think a little more logically. Why can't that be the next? This is what I was gonna say earlier, though. It's like, gays got liberated, women in the process of getting liberated, but hey, you still skipped over the black people again. Why? Why do they keep skipping over them? Like, I'm serious.
I think because to a lot of people that topic gets drummed to death in so many ways that and here's the thing, like if somebody from Europe came over here and they weren't black and then they went to the inner city and everybody's calling them racist, they're like, why are you calling me racist? I'm like, I just came here. Just they see your color of skin now. It's like this anti-racism has kind of sort of turned into a racism that even if your family lineage or you haven't been affiliated with or affected with it, you could get called racist just because of the color of your skin now. And that itself is racist and it's wrong. And it's bad.
Well, okay, so here's the philosophy.
They're trying to find a way to repair what's happened. But the only real way to repair anything is to just forget, forgive, and love. You need to move on. You need to be a new person. You need to realize that that's the ways of the past. But
Well,
it's like if you keep touching a wound that's, you keep picking at this wound, you're going to reopen it.
listen,
It's going
it's
to
like
bleed.
I've said before. It's like I said before. People only get mad at other people because they're trying to help them, and that's really. I'm dead serious about this. It's in our nature to try to help each other. We don't realize it because that's why we're getting so overloaded with mad that we never get to the core of helping. But like we get so upset because we think that they're wrong about this. It's like, all right, man, I don't want to put. All right, imagine like I'm making angry faces at like a gay person like over and over. I'm just like looking at them like, ugh. Like I just make these gestures like blowing them off and ignoring it. You know, are they gonna talk shit on me behind my back eventually? Like, what's his problem? You just
Well, maybe.
he clearly doesn't like gay people and all this and that. And it's like maybe I didn't even know he was gay. Maybe I was just like, in a bad mood, or maybe I just get weird when certain people look at me and I have Tourette's. Now you're crucifying me, and people can mock people and all these. They're trying to figure them out, and they're saying things that might be a little bit rude and personal, and it's just like they're just trying to figure out who you are and what your problem is so they can get over it. But like, people make it so complicated what their problem is, and a lot of time I think it's like, gay isn't a problem. It's just a lifestyle. Like if you want to really be liberated, stop thinking of it as like if somebody doesn't like you because you're gay, that's a problem with them. Unless they're saying stuff out loud and rude, which now there's clearly like you can do whatever you want about it. But like it just needs to be equal. Like as long as it's not being happening at work anymore.
Well, yeah. The thing
Like you
is,
can choose what you do outside of work, but as long as it's not happening at work, there's really what is the problem? Only situations at work really bother me.
How are we looking at time?
Okay, yeah.
We're getting way off in the weeds.
Well, we did cover both.
hour
Gotta
and
bust out the reel.
2 minutes.
Reel
so.
it in. Yeah, we went way over.
Yeah, we jumped onto a whole nother thing here.
Edit it.
Oh,
I can't. You keep saying this every freaking time, dude. I can't. It's all
Edit it, bro. Just edit it. It'll be fine. We'll just edit it.
Yeah. You
So
don't even...
next week's topic. Do we have one planned? This could be another hour.
what did we say at the beginning of the show? No,
Yeah, that's right. The flu. Good call.
The flu.
There you go.
Yeah, the
You
flu
said flu and vaccines,
flu and vaccines, and
anti-vaxxers.
we can get all complicated about that.
Oh
It'll be
man, we are going to have a war
next week.
Next week is a war over vaccines.
I'm down.
Take us home, Zodiac.
Okay. All right, so until next week, this was the Crow Show. You'll find us on the Twitters, Adam the Zodiac. You'll find all the updates on the show throughout the week, usually a day or two before I start posting some stuff, look for some feedback, people get involved, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, just retweet that shit, let more people see it. I update the Facebook occasionally when I remember. So that's The Crow Show or at The Real Crow Show on Facebook. And occasionally on Saturday nights I'll do a live stream. I haven't for a couple weeks now, but maybe I'll get back into it. I'll post updates. Watch the Twitters.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll find it on my channel, obviously, for if you want to watch it. Usually every week we do it on Thursday nights at about 9:30 Central. And also on Minds.com, you'll find the Crow Show there. I have to post it up there. I forgot today. But last week I had it set. So, yep, here on my channel on Minds, you can also watch it there if you like. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a like. If you didn't, give me a reason. And subscribe also for more stuff. And we will catch you next week. And next week is viruses and all that kind of stuff. So, all right.
All right. Bye, everybody.